game glitched and a second dragon appeared. So I had to kill that later, which was fun. But I ignored it for now. Let's go. Let's go get a freaking elytra. Hello everybody and welcome back to my forever world. Today we are going to be building a ship, but look at these wings we just got. Yes, yeah, the Ender Dragon did something out, it glitched, so it spawned twice. So I had to kill that twice, which was fun. But yeah, so far I've built up this little pathway here, and I think it looks a lot nicer. Added a few more palm trees, and I've extended this road all the way to the main little area that we've got. It goes off that way as well. And we keep coming down here, and it'll connect up here. So eventually I'm going to add more of these fencing and whatnot, where I use like the wood logs and stuff, but I don't exactly know what's going to go like over there or, you know, on the other side. So we'll figure that out later. But for now, it'll do just to have a path. So like I said, today we're going to be building a ship, which is really cool. I've actually already built it, so let's take a little sneaky peeky so you can kind of see it off there. Oh, it looks majestic off in the distance there. Woohoo! Nice. We can take a look at my little palm trees we've added. Little kitty cat. Alright, so here it is. It's looking pretty cool. It fits in really well with the docks, I think, in my opinion. Looks awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and start this speed build, okay? Let's go! So first, I needed to figure out where I wanted the pointy bit of the ship to go, like how far in. And because I've already got this hanging shipment, I don't know. I have to kind of base the size of the boat on that because I can't like I didn't want to take down all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. So here I am trying to figure out how far and the shape itself of the front of the boat. I don't know what it's called, starboard, port, side, poop deck, something, I don't know. But here's me building out the frame. And I think this kind of helped in general because I don't really know how to build a boat, if that makes sense, but I figured the frame would help. And I kind of wanted the frame to stick out more and help with that depth look. So this is what I did first. I used that dark oak to build out the frame and then filled it in with spruce to build up the rest of the boat. Now the front, I accidentally started it a little bit too boxy. Obviously that's not how it goes. I had to really channel my inner brain to kind of get that fixed. But we got a nice shape in the end. I think it turned out pretty good. It just took a while. Again, I've never built a boat before, and so there was some learning curves and things that, you know, I would definitely do a different way if I had to redo this boat again. And maybe I might do another bigger boat in the future, because I originally wanted this boat to be a lot bigger than it was, but with the crane already set in place, it just wasn't the correct size, if that makes sense. I couldn't make it any bigger than what I had here without it not making sense. So I have a good little section of the front, and now I just extended it all the way to the back. We're just continuing with the frame of the ship first, and then again going in with the spruce wood and filling in the rest of the boat. I used some stairs on the bottom to help with the shape of the boat, also just to give some depth, as well as some trapdoors to add to depth as well. It just gives more visual interest. And then we go into the very back of the boat. Now the back of the boat is where our captain's quarters is going to be. So this actually needs to be a bit more square shaped compared to the front of the boat, which is much more pointed. So it has its own different shape. You don't want to have the same shape for the back of the boat. There needs to be more living space, I guess you would say. So I found a shape that I liked, and we went with that. A little more boxy, but not completely square like that first attempt I tried. All right, now going in and getting rid of all of this water, which is actually a pain because there's waterlogged areas of the stairs that you can't just fill in with a block. So I had to rip those out and then go into the water itself, put up some grass like on the undersides of the boat, and then go back and fill that in, then refill it with the stairs. That was just a whole process. I didn't think I was going to have to do that. But yeah, that's one of the things I would definitely do differently in the future is go ahead and like section out an area. Then I'd rather just take I don't even know what I would do, honestly. But there's that. We finally got that taken care of. No more water in the boat. It will not sink at this point. Well, it wouldn't be afloat in real life. But anyway, this is Minecraft. It's fine. Next, we put a little railing all the way around with some nice fence posts and some stripped dark oak logs. You can see I messed up a little bit there, so I just ended up going and trying to repeat the other side just for consistency. And then for some contrast, going around with some spruce, and then we go around again with some dark oak, I think slabs, I believe, yeah. And then kind of section off with the spruce as well. So here you see me filling that in, then adding a little section there. And then this will be the areas where we access the bottom of the ship. We're repositioning that little pallet there. It needed to go up about 1 block. So we took that down. There's the beneath. Is it the hull? I don't know. Went ahead and rebuilt this. Rebuilt that pallet. There we go. Much better position. And then put a little railway around with those spruce trapdoors. And then we're going to go ahead and start on the captain's quarters. Made sure to leave some windows because that's very important. And then the classic 2 staircases on either side. Building up a bit of a lip around the edges there. A little bit of detail with some of the railings. And then we need to be able to go down into the boat. So here is a little stripped log I did. And we have the awesome captain's quarters. We're going to detail this with some brown stained glass. Do a little bit of a lip on the outside there. Gotta have the little steering wheel. That's as good as I could come up with. And then we get to the long stick things that hold the sails. I don't know what those are called. I have absolutely no clue. Probably should have done some research on that, but it's okay. I'm just building the boat. I played along with like some trapdoors versus fences, and the fences just don't connect. So we went with trapdoors anyway. For the, what do you call that? The roost nest? I don't know, something like that. And then we started with the very beginning sail. I wanted a front sail here, just small. And make sure we gotta make it 3D. And then moving on up to the main sail. Now I pinned these sails up because obviously the boat is not sailing at the moment, and that was also a way to cheat and not have to build the entire sail itself. So I just went in and tied them up. The middle one needed to have 2 sails for it to make sense. Now the second one was a little bit bigger than the top one, but essentially the shape is the same. They kind of duck down a little bit, and some of it sticks out, a little bit of 3D, and then we just kind of add some bracings with the trapdoors, ladders, and stairs. And then I did the same thing to the back sail as well.
The stories of old times are told. Oh, sing a tune and clap your hand.
Now on to the captain's quarters decoration. We gotta have a little chair and a desk, and then maybe a little work area off on the side with some books. It's gotta have some storage, some decorations, and of course a place to sleep. And to spiff it up, I added some more little decorations, some stuff just to have filler, if that makes sense. Little carpet, looks nice. Then he's got to have his map. He's got to have a map and a compass. I thought that was really cool. And then to play along with the lighting, we took out some of these torches and whatnot and just made that look a little bit better.
Sing a tune and clap your hand with the merriest.
And then I thought the dried gas would look better as like a trophy on his front desk there. So I think that looks awesome. All right, now on to the side. We got to add some cannons to the ship. It's got to be able to defend itself against other pirates that may want to steal its booty, its bounty, whatever. So we're just going in with some dispensers there on the side, and we're going to match it on the other side as well. And going under them with some trapdoors to help connect them to the boat, as if they're sitting on something. And then here's the interior parts of the cannon. I just used the smooth basalt. I think they had like the right shape for a cannon, if that makes sense. And then put the little knobby button thing on the back of cannons, and then used more buttons as like cannonballs, if that makes sense. Kind of, these are cannonballs, I don't know. I went in with some blocks of coal and whatnot to kind of simulate like this is like a bigger stack of cannonballs. And then just added some small decorations to kind of spiff up the area, or more like de-spiffify, I guess. Some barrels and a little bit of cobwebs here and there. I had a couple pots back there that you can see. A little bit of lighting, but not too much. This is below the deck. Kind of makes sense to be a little bit dark and gloomy. And then beneath that, we have a very small, squatty area. And this is where the shipmate's crew is going to be sleeping. Just some classic brown beds. I think that fits the aesthetic. And then last but not least, adding a couple of banners on top, and then these ropes on the side to kind of tie everything in. You don't want the big sail thingies to snap and fly off. You gotta have something to be able to direct those and turn those. Now I have no idea if this is like correct, if this is how they actually are in a boat. I just kind of went for like the general shape. So just putting them in different directions just to feel like they're connected to each other and that they're structurally safe and sound from just how it looks visually. And lastly, I didn't like that little awning there, so I went and I changed it to spruce to also give better contrast, just like the side wall windows there. And then on the front, we of course got to add the good old dragon head. Last but not least, this ship needs a name, and of course that is going to be the SS Goose Wind. We have a little bit of lore that's attached to the lectern, closer to the other shipwreck that's on the beach. But yeah, here we go. Let's take a little shot. We have the dragon head and the whole completed ship ready to go. I think this ship turned out really, really cool. I'm actually pretty surprised at how well it turned out. I've never built one before. Just kind of winged it based on some other ships that I've seen and other builds. But yeah, I think this was really fun to build. It kind of got me into building a little bit more, refreshed myself. take a little flyby here and go into the captain's quarters. Look how cool that looks. I think that's a really cool part to take a look at. Alright, exiting the captain's quarters. We're gonna sneak below to where the cannons are hiding there. Barrels of gunpowder. And cannonballs littering the floor, ready to be used at any moment. And below that, the sleeping area for our crewmates. Alright guys, so here is the finished boat. We have this little walkway here. I don't know what you call that. But yeah, this looks really cool. We have our little thingy here, our little shipment, the sail. Oh, well, I can't get through here. Hold on. Okay. Oh yeah, bell. Bing bing. Wait. Bing bing bing. Come on. Hello? Bing bing. Bing. Ding. Come on. What's going on? Oh, there we go. Okay, I just wasn't clicking it. All right, there we go. That works. Good. Yeah, it looks so cool, like being on the boat itself. Oh, that's so neat. And then, oh, we can go up here. And then, you know, here, like, oh, oh, I broke the wheel. We're sailing the ship. We're sailing it. Make sure you don't run into the docks. If we go down here, we can take a look. Oop, that's not safe. Go into the captain's quarters one more time. I think it looks really cool. I'm so happy with this, by the way. We've got a little sign over there that says SS Goose Wind again. Oh, that's very touchy. Okay. I didn't know that. Oh, that's so cool. Close the door and we'll go down here. Maybe. Our little cannonball room. Looks pretty cool. And then, of course, this is like a block and a half, so you gotta squat a little bit. But yeah, I think that's kind of nice. It gives the claustrophobic vibe that I think you would probably have in an actual ship too, which is pretty neat. But yeah, that's all I've got for today. I really hope that you enjoyed this ship build. That this was so fun to build. I actually really enjoyed this. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Let me know if there's anything you want me to build in this forever world, okay? Bye-bye. Wait a minute. What? Y'all messed up my boats. Not my boats. Bro. Come on. Oh my god. Ay, ay, ay. These villagers.